Okay, hi everybody. Welcome. This is our Love Rising Royal Oaks team meeting for December 2017, the last meeting of the year. I am kind of amazed by that, and I'm really, really excited that we have so many people joining us live. This video will be posted up on YouTube, so it'll be available for you guys to watch. So thank you, first of all, for being here tonight. I know we are in the middle of a crazy season, and our guest speaker, Nick, the husband of Dixie Canuso, who's a CE who's here as well, are both in the hospital with their daughter. And so if everybody could make sure to say extra prayers for Kalia. They don't have to go into it all, but those of you that were on early heard from Nick a little bit of what's been going on with her. But thank you so much, both of you, for being here tonight and sharing with us. I wanted to have Nick come and speak tonight because a lot of us are participating in Dressember. If you're participating in Dressember, you can wave or pop it in the chat. I'm participating this year, and really for me, the Dressember is I'm making a kind of a personal accountability to educating myself more on human trafficking and learning more. And so as part of that, I wanted to have Nick come and speak. Dixie and I talked about it at our October team meeting, I think. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know who her husband was and his expertise in this area. And so I'm just really excited that it all kind of came together and that he's able to speak to you guys tonight. He's got a great message for you, and I know that you're going to be really inspired by the work that you're doing, that you are making an impact and on this big, dark, scary issue. And Nick's going to share that with you. And then we're going to carry on after Nick finishes and do a little PowerPoint, talk about December, some things that are coming this month, and finishing out this 2017 strong, kicking off your 2018 with gusto. So I'm going to ask Veronica to please introduce our guest speaker, and then Nick, the floor will be yours.
Awesome. So Nick, I actually met Nick several years ago. He was doing a training for Florida abolitionists here locally. And so I was part of that training, and he was the teacher and shared just so much information. So I'm really excited y'all are going to be hearing from him. Nick has been part of Orlando House of Prayer, which is, a lot of you have probably heard of the House of Prayer movements and everything going on. He's been part of Florida Abolitionist and director of the National Weekend of Prayer to End Slavery and Trafficking. And now is actually with Justice Academy of Worship Arts, which is an educational equipping school that teaches music and the arts and the direct effect it has in releasing justice. And so, more than qualified to talk on this subject. He is the husband of as Erin mentioned, one of our CEs on our team and one of our sisters. And so it's really cool to have the connection of not only someone who is experienced in this field and experienced in teaching about it, but that is a bro of hope. So without further ado, Nick, take it away.
Great. Thank you, Veronica. I really appreciate it. Well, it's an honor to speak to all of you. I can't tell you how blessed I've been with Trades of Hope. Obviously, with my wife, Dixie, being involved with it, I've really felt just a connection with all that you're doing. So let me start at the beginning. And I'll be brief because we have a short amount of time, and I really want to share some things that I think will encourage you and inspire you, not only with the work that you're doing, but with how you can really use Trades of Hope in a way to continue impacting people's lives and also making a shift in the culture within your own community. So I'll kind of get into that a little bit. But let me start back in 2010 when, as a musician and someone involved in the prayer movement for many years, I was invited to go to Miami to help put together a prayer room during the Super Bowl in 2010. And I'll be honest, I was kind of a skeptic when it came to the issue of what we call human trafficking. Now, this prayer room was designed to be there to have nonstop prayer over the course of the Super Bowl weekend for teams that were going out to rescue people who were caught up in human trafficking. Now, when I heard that, I didn't understand it at all. I was aware of human trafficking. I knew that it would take place, or it was taking place in, places like the Soviet Union, places in Asia, different third world countries. But honestly, I was a little offended when I heard them talk about rescuing trafficking victims in America, because right away I thought, victim mentality, we're trying to make everyone a victim, and I just felt it was insulting for those real individuals in other countries who were suffering. Oops, sorry, there goes my phone.
I know you're still with us.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can't see you anymore, but we can hear you.
I am trying to get it back.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. Give me just 1 second. Back to meeting. There we go. And your microphone is unmuted. Does anybody know how to get to the video again?
Oh, there you go.
Yay! I apologize about that. Sorry, I had it precariously perched here. I'll just hold it. But so anyways, back in 2010, I was invited to do this prayer room, and I was a skeptic. I didn't think human trafficking really happened in America. So after we got the prayer room put together, I expressed my interest in wanting to go out onto the streets. So in short, I went out as a skeptic, and as a believer, as a Christian, I said a quick prayer. And it was kind of a dangerous prayer, and I knew it at the time, but my prayer was simply this: Lord, I don't really believe this is happening in America, but if it is, I'm asking you to open my eyes completely. I don't want to just know about the prostitution or what people consider to be human trafficking. I want to see the realities of human trafficking here in America. So will you open my eyes and show me the truth of this taking place in America? Now, I said that prayer, and I felt I'd done my duty, and I was actually ready to go out there and get blessed with a Super Bowl ticket through some miracle. I just knew that was why God had me there. So 30 minutes later, God showed me why he really had me there. And what happened is I actually encountered a Russian teen standing outside of an empty building, a for lease sign. She looked to be maybe 22 when I saw her from across the street. Once we got face to face with her and I started asking her questions, it was clear to me, just having been in youth ministry for many years, having 7 kids of my own, knowing teens, I knew this girl had to be, maybe 16, 17 years old. We asked her questions, and it was clear that she couldn't speak English very well. She was dressed very beautifully, but the building was empty behind her. I asked her why she was there, and she's like, she's waiting for someone who wants to take her out. And it was just clear through the speech and the conversation, which was very broken and hard to understand, that she was in fact more of a higher-end escort that's standing outside of the building. Now behind her there was a staircase that went up, but the rest of the building was empty, and there was a divider in front of the staircase. And after questioning her a little bit more, I eventually saw a gentleman lean over to the side, and I saw a gun. He had a suit jacket that opened up, and it was very clear I was being sent a message that I needed to leave. So my prayer partner I was with, her and I, we coupled up. Her and I left, and we called the FBI, which was kind of part of us going out onto the streets, and found out that the Russian mafia had owned that building, and they were running escort services out of that building. The FBI had been investigating it for a while. So that was pretty eye-opening, and it happened within about 30, 45 minutes from me saying my prayer. What would happen the rest of that night was gut-wrenching, life-changing. I'll just share one more small story of what happened during that weekend, just to give you an idea of the kind of continuous encounters I had. And this was all, I believe, extreme divine appointments. I mean, there's no way naturally I could have just found this on my own. But one other story is that I was walking, and I saw this boy. It was probably about 11:30 at night. This boy was sitting all by himself, and he looked to be the same age as my oldest son was at the time, which was 13. And I'm looking at him, and he's sitting underneath of this sign that's flashing puppies for sale. And being all alone, I go up and I say, "Hey, are you okay?" And he goes, "Why? Do you want to play?" And of course, my heart just, it stopped, and, my stomach churned. And I looked at him and I said, are your parents nearby? And he goes, oh, my daddy's over there. And he pointed down, and about half a block down, leaning against a lamppost, was kind of a scuzzy looking guy who I could tell was acting disinterested, but you could kind of see that he was keeping his peripheral focused on what was happening with me and this young boy. So we did call the FBI. This young 13-year-old boy, he was 13. He was a runaway. He was being pimped out by this man. And so that was a praise report that came from that weekend. But by the end of the weekend, my life was completely changed. I was undone. And so what ensued was about 6 months to a year of me trying to learn more about human trafficking. And just let me share with you really briefly what happened in that journey of me trying to learn this is that I found a lot of people like to throw statistics, and they like to talk about the horrors of human trafficking, and it's gut-wrenching, and it's terrible. But every time I went to a meeting, I walked away going, I still don't get it. I still don't understand how this is happening in my neighborhood. I don't understand the way this is taking place. And so I dedicated myself to wanting to know everything about this issue because I consider myself a good teacher. And I really wanted to be able to communicate this in a way that was accessible to everyone, not just to know the information, but to get it in their hands and to empower them with knowledge so they could be equipped to be able to actually make a difference, not just by words, but by deeds, by actually getting engaged and involved. And so that was what really drove me in this. It wasn't to know about the numbers, the statistics, where it happens, and it wasn't to say, hey, I'm an expert, give me money. It was to say, hey, you need to know this information because you are a part of the solution. You have to be a part of the solution. And we hear that all the time, but nobody really likes to quantify what that looks like and what that means. So I'm just going to share with you a couple of tidbits, some things, and this will be really fast because I know we're short on time. I'm watching the clock here. But I want to equip you with a few tidbits. First of all, one thing that I discovered is human trafficking plays on our stereotypes. It plays on our ignorance. It plays on social norms. And they are experts at hiding in plain sight. They're experts at misdirect. They love these stories of, oh, it's overblown, it's overhyped, they're making it up, it's not really real, it's not true. And they know how to take advantage of the way our society is set up. And they know how to do this from country to country to country. Now in America, we don't really have, I mean, even though there's exceptions, we don't have brothels where you can just walk into. Obviously, there's some places in Nevada and some other places. But a lot of this has been very secretive. And I just want to share, human trafficking can't be put into one little box. It is a huge, wide topic. And I'm going to, first of all, I want to point out the 4 primary topics or the 4 key areas of human trafficking. Because when we say human trafficking, we just think sex trafficking. And while that is a huge part of it, that's how most people identify with it, I want to cover 3 other areas that maybe you haven't thought of. Obviously, with Trades of Hope, most of you are familiar with something called labor trafficking. We hear about the sweatshops. Maybe you don't know this, but the cell phone that I'm talking to all of you on right now has a mineral in it that comes from a country where child slave labor is used to cultivate this mineral. And everybody knows it. Everybody in the industry understands it. There's nothing they can do about it right now. And so it's part of our reality. And what we want to do is we want to shift that. So labor trafficking, another area is organ trafficking. Now, organ trafficking used to be an urban myth. It used to be kind of a joke. But organ trafficking is very real. It is very powerful and is very present. And that leaves us with the final one, something called infant trafficking. Now, infant trafficking is just as vast. One of the primary things with infant trafficking is actually organ trafficking because the demand for infant organs are huge. And so there's a huge trade that goes on with that. But that also goes into labor and sex trafficking and false adoptions. So we have this huge industry of what we call human trafficking or modern-day slavery. Now, how does that tie into what's going on here at home? Well, a lot of these human traffickers will operate in totally different industries. You may have a nail salon that has former workers from Asian massage parlors who age out of the massage parlor and then get forced to move into these nail salons where there's still pimping that goes on in the back of the nail salon, and these women get moved from shop to shop and place to place. We have issues with labor trafficking in the United States where we've had Chinese buffets. I'm in Orlando right now. There's actually been 2 Chinese buffets in Orlando that have been shut down because of infant slave labor. I'm not infant, but child slave labor. Bear with me, I'm going on like very little sleep here. But what happened is, in fact, in one of them, it was a really freak case. There was a lady who's involved in fighting human trafficking, went to a Chinese buffet, was hungry. Last thing she was thinking of was human trafficking. And she knew some Chinese. And she overheard one of the employers talking to this other person who looked like a kid. And again, this is how traffickers play on our stereotypes. We all look at Asians and we say, oh, they all look young. And if they're really young, we say, oh, isn't that great? They're a family that's working together. Because it's true. Many Asian families do work together and they do have their kids present. But traffickers know this and they take advantage of it. So it just so happened this lady overheard a conversation which led to investigation, which made them find that these kids who we're talking anywhere between the ages of 12 and 15, were being forced to work from sunup to sundown, and the girls were being pimped out at nights, and they were all funneled into a van and into one small apartment. So these things take place in plain sight. A lot of people think it's street corners, streetwalkers, but I'm telling you, it's in restaurants. It can take place in malls, in nail salons. It can take place in high-end areas. A lot of people think, oh, I live in a gated community. But there are story after story after story where traffickers will get a house in a nice gated community area, and they'll have 8 to 10 girls who are underage, not all of them, but they're underage, and they're being forced into a lifestyle that they can't get out of. And how does this happen? Well, let me say one more thing really quick before I move on to how does this happen. Something that people don't understand. When it comes to sex trafficking, a lot of people say, well, it's their choice, or they made bad choices, or they could leave whenever they want. They can get out of it. But there's a couple of things you need to know. First off, the average age of entry into prostitution is the age of 13. Now, it's actually lower for boys, and that's a topic that a lot of people don't want to talk about, is the boy trafficking. The average age of entry into prostitution is 13 years old. Now, you guys tell me, how many of you think a 13-year-old can make the cognitive decision that I want my body to be used 10 to 12 different times from different men every night? As my 14-year-old daughter is in the hospital bed, I can tell you, I don't know any girl who would freely choose that. And if they did freely choose that, we all know that there is something seriously traumatic and wrong that they're not responsible for that happened in their life. So we have to first understand that. The second thing we have to understand is that modern-day slave traders have learned that the mind is way more powerful than a chain and a whip. And many of you have probably heard the story about elephants. As a baby, they take the elephant and they put a chain on it, and that elephant is trained that it can't move. And when it's an adult, all they have to do is put a rope on the foot, because that elephant is convinced that if there's something around its ankle, it's not going to be able to break it. But that elephant is so strong and powerful, it could break it at any time. So when we take that analogy and we look at human trafficking or modern slavery, we have what we call, often referred to as the Stockholm Syndrome. And within that, we have a mental bondage of manipulation and coercion, which is actually part of the definition of human trafficking, manipulation and coercion. But that takes place and it creates this mental chain to where these young boys and young girls cannot break free. I'll never forget hearing a testimony from a girl who'd been rescued out of prostitution. She'd been out for 12 years, and she was sharing her story and her testimony. And as she was sharing it, she started to cry and tear up when she was talking about the Stockholm Syndrome. And she started to shake, and she said, I just know right now if my pimp walked through the door and he snapped his fingers, I don't know that I couldn't go, that I would be able to resist going with him and walking out of this building with him, even now after so many years. And you could see that she was dealing with that reality of the mental bondage that's put on them. So when it comes to the issue of modern-day slavery, we're not just talking about poor choices. We're not talking about, it's a story of drugs. We're talking about real mental and emotional bondage and manipulation. So let me jump forward to my conclusion so that I can empower you guys with why what you're doing is so important and why this topic is so important to you. One thing that I found is that when it really gets to the heart of the issue of modern day slavery or human trafficking, is that human trafficking at its very core is a relationship problem. It stems from a problem of mankind, of human beings being able to effectively and authentically relate to one another and see the value of the individual. You see, one of the things about human trafficking that makes it so unique in all of the realm of social justice is that human trafficking actually encompasses and embodies every other form of injustice that's out there, whether it's corruption, power, greed, lust, the apathy, the need for money. All of these injustices fuel the issue of human trafficking. In fact, I say if injustice is a monster and a beast, the head of that beast is called human trafficking. And how do we combat it? We combat it through authentic relationships. We combat it by connecting with people in a way that values them and empowers them and sees the value of life inside of them. And this, guys, is why Trades of Hope is so important. I was sharing with Aaron a few weeks ago that throughout my trainings, I really wanted to focus on what a solution could be to end human trafficking. And I have a list of them. And this is why I do hour-long trainings when it comes to this, because we get to the roots, we talk about how it happens. But I want to cut to the chase, the conclusion of all of this. If you want to end human trafficking, the first thing we need to do is we need to be able to develop true, authentic relationships. Not where we just go in and say, hi, how are you? But I can't tell you how many people have been rescued from human trafficking because some lady who goes and gets her nails done at a salon tries to talk to the person that's doing her nails and suddenly discovers that there's something wrong. There's flags going up. There's an alarm going up. This lady is avoiding questions. She's looking nervous at her supervisor and manager. Something is wrong. We'll never know that if you don't try and develop a relationship with them, if you don't try and connect authentically. The neighbor with the girls. One of the girls who was rescued from this house in a gated community said that she couldn't believe it, but men would come out and mow their lawns and see these girls in their short shorts and their t-shirt and men coming and going. And in her head, she was going, how can they not see this? How can they not know what's happening to me? And it's because we are failing to authentically communicate and relate to one another. The other thing that I share with people is that if we really want to make a dent in the industry of human trafficking, we have to be able to offer a positive solution, an alternative to what's out there. You see, human trafficking is happening because the demand is there. And that demand, they want to grow that demand. They want to build that demand up. I'm going to share with you one little tidbit. All the stuff with Harvey Weinstein and everything going on in Hollywood and all the sexual abuse stuff, let me tell you, it's all kind of a... what's the word? It's like a brain not working here, but I don't want to say it's a false narrative. I'm going to say they're kind of cutting off the low-hanging fruit to distract you from what's really happening. One thing that I found in pursuing human trafficking is this. There's only 6 corporations that run over 90% of our media. Look it up. It's on the internet. There's only 6 corporations that run over 90% of our media. Companies like Comcast, Disney, GE. There's these companies that you would be astounded to see how they are in direct control of what we consume, whether it be news, TV, music, whatever entertainment that we receive. Now, if you go deeper, you'll start to find that the majority of those board members, the top board members of those companies, also run a huge amount of the adult entertainment industry. When you get into the adult entertainment industry, you realize it makes 3 to 4 or 5 times more than what our normal entertainment does. So when they talk about, Justice League only making $1 billion, or some other movie breaking records and making billions of dollars, I'm just going to tell you, it's a drop in the bucket compared to what the adult entertainment industry is making. And there's no mistake that we have the same board members sitting in both the adult entertainment field and the media that we consume. Why is this? Because of demand, because they're building an industry, an infrastructure in order to generate finances, because it's all about the power and the money. That's what it is at the end of the day. No matter what form of human trafficking it is, it's all about that. So what is the solution? I will tell you, one of the most powerful solutions right now is Trades of Hope. It is exactly what I was pointing out to my class. I remember standing there month after month saying, if we could just develop a way to create a commercial enterprise that really took advantage of the freedom of capitalism, the free market, and empower people to give positive solutions that they can come into agreement with, that makes them feel good about their life, we can make a huge dent and really begin to attack the issue of human trafficking. We can make a difference. Because I saw it happen with my own eyes. When I got into this a few years ago, Dixie demanded that we were going to start buying fair trade coffee. Now, I'm going to tell you, I knew about human trafficking, but I was like, sweetheart, we can't start living our life like that to where we're making all these radical changes and stuff because A, we can't afford it, and B, the coffee is awful. I hate it. It's not good. I want this better coffee. It's cheaper, and it's good. I want it. She's like, no, we're going to do this small thing, and we're going to make a difference, and we're going to pray about it. And I said, okay, you know what, you're right. So we did. That was several years ago. Guys, I can go to Aldi's, and I can find fair trade coffee that is really good for like $4, for $4. Now, that was unheard of like 6 years ago when we started to make this decision to do this. Now, it might have taken time, but look at what happened. And so I want to share and encourage you guys with Trades of Hope. I told Dixie, she's been doing this for almost a year now, and she gets frustrated, and she gets discouraged. And I'm like, remember the coffee, okay? Because you might be discouraged now, but look at what happened 6 years later. As a family, we used to go to downtown Disney, and we'd go to Ghirardelli, and we would get the free chocolate, and the chocolate was not fair trade at the time. And we would look goofy, and we'd stand in a circle, and we'd hold our free chocolate, and we would actually pray for the company and pray for the kids who picked the cocoa beans in slavery to make our chocolate, because you may not be aware, but most of the chocolate you eat is from slave labor. And so we prayed, and I would talk to the managers would come up, what are you guys doing? And I tell them. And guess what? Suddenly, 3 years later, after doing that, we find out they went fair trade. So what you're doing makes a difference. What you're doing makes an impact, even when it feels like it's not. If you want to fight injustice, I'm telling you, the number one thing you can do right now is follow what they're teaching you with Trades of Hope. Build authentic relationships. Connect with people on a personal level. Use the infrastructure that's put in place to give people a positive solution to come into agreement with, so that you can have that lady who I just heard a story tonight that she was telling me about, a lady who went and felt like she did a vendor thing and felt like it was pointless and worthless. And then a month later, someone orders $1,600 worth of merchandise. Guys, what you're doing is not only making a difference in these other women's lives all throughout the country, but I want to encourage you, what you are doing is directly combating human trafficking here in the United States of America, because you're offering a positive solution that people can come into agreement with, and you're doing it through authentic relationship. So don't stop, don't quit, educate yourself, empower yourself, learn these stories, because it's not just about knowing the stories, it's about seeing how you connect to it and how you too are part of the solution. So with that, I just want to bless you all, and we can open it up for questions if you've got time. I do have a book, and if you want to know all about it, this is, I did this in a total linear way. I've had 13, 14, 15-year-olds and 65-year-olds read this and underline it and say that they were just totally impacted and blown away. At the end of each chapter, there's a prayer guide, so that you can pray not only for the victim and the customer, but you can also pray for the trafficker. Because we have to pray for these people who are caught up in their own bondage of facilitating human trafficking. So you can find that on Amazon.com. It's called Land of the Free, and it's by Nick Canuso. And you guys can always feel free to contact me. My email is nickcanuso@gmail.com, just NICKCANUSO@gmail. And I'll be happy to answer any questions about human trafficking that you want. And yeah, so with that, I'll hand it over to you. So thank you, Erin. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Nick. Yeah, you know, it's a hard thing to listen to. I'm going to be completely honest. Like you know, the things that you were sharing at the beginning are, you feel yourself like inwardly, like, oh, can I keep listening? Do I keep listening? And it's almost like that feeling of like wanting to look away. And I don't know if others felt that way, but I think that to me is why it's important to take this time. I'm thankful for Dressember, is, you know, because it's giving me this like space to take this time and look and listen and learn. And then, I mean, like we talked about on the phone and what you just talked about now about that developing those authentic relationships. I mean, we are in the perfect position, like you said, as compassionate entrepreneurs in direct selling. I mean, direct selling is an incredible business model because it's built on relationships and the power of that. And then coupled with the fact that our direct selling business has to do with helping people and changing lives and has that mission base, that it's really, the possibilities are endless, I feel like, for what we can accomplish. And I think sometimes we, like you said, like Dixie gets frustrated, you know, we all feel those things. Like you get frustrated because somebody doesn't call you back, or a hostess cancels a party, or you got a low turnout, or whatever the frustration is, and you get caught up in that little minutia of what's right in front of your face. And I think it's really important as a compassionate entrepreneur to always remember that big picture, and always remember what we have the vehicle to achieve and how much bigger it is than ourselves. And offering that positive solution to our artisans and to the women right in our backyard. And you just, like you said, you just never know. And if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're learning about somebody's life, you never know what you might, call them out, you know, help them, find their way out of. And I love that coffee thing. Remember the coffee, Dixie. That's your, that's the, when you're feeling frustrated, remember the coffee. That change happens, and we're not part of a quick fix. And that's the other thing too that I think is important. And this is like Nick described. I mean, this is a huge, massive industry that nobody in the people that are in control want to see fail. And so we're fighting against a huge enemy in multiple realms. And so it's a big task, but change can happen. I love, Dixie, that you said, we're going to do this small thing. We're going to switch to fair trade coffee. It's those small things done with great love and great intention and great purpose that do multiply. And we see that evidenced over and over and over again by what we can achieve as a team, versus as individuals. Does anybody else have a question you want to pop in the chat before I want to let Nick go, and Dixie too, if she needs to go. The chat is open if anybody wants to, and we can always have some questions later, and if Nick, we have things that we can't address, maybe we can talk. Garachi Katichi said Nick should speak and inspire, and I tend to agree. So I'm going to work on that. Okay.
Yeah, I just have one thing to leave everyone just to think about, because when it comes to this topic, I didn't want to give you guys a canned kind of a experience where I'm throwing statistics and everything, but I do want to encourage you guys. One of the biggest mistakes when it comes to human trafficking is thinking, well, it doesn't happen in my area. And we experience this all over the country. We've been, in Nebraska and Iowa. We've gone through other states, rural areas. A lot of people who are in rural areas say, well, I'm in a small town of 500 people. It can't happen here. Or someone says, well, I live in a really nice neighborhood and everyone is really, we're just a different lifestyle, and so it can't happen here because we're such a nice neighborhood. And I just want to tell you guys, when it comes to human trafficking, it's kind of like when you go and buy that car that you think nobody else has and is a color that no other car has, and then on the way home you see 10 of them. That's what it's like when it comes to this issue. When you are focused on it and when you know what to look for and how to see it, you will begin noticing things that you can't believe you never noticed before. And it'll be in rural communities. It'll be in the really nice shopping village that you think is way too nice and way too fancy. But when you start seeing guys coming in and out of that female salon where they're doing hair, and you're like, that's weird, he must be a husband, he must be this and that. But then you look closer and you start going, wait a minute, he's disappearing. You start asking questions. And then from those questions, we don't jump to conclusions, but we build relationship. And so I just want to encourage you guys, just study more, see what you can find out, see what you can, I know it's a hard subject to grapple with. It really is. But I want to encourage you, just start small. Start with one area. Dixie started with the coffee, and it was powerful. We always think we have to dive in and get this whole subject. Just start with one area. And I want to encourage you that even within your Trades of Hope business. A lot of times you feel like, oh, I have to do, this online party, this Facebook party, this home party, and I have to go do this other vending event, and I have to do all these things. And in reality, probably if you just start simple and start small, you'll be empowered and you'll be encouraged and you'll feel like, wow, I'm making a difference. And that's what it's about when it comes to any area where you are trying to bring a light of truth, which really at the end, we hear the word justice a lot, but let me tell you what justice is. At the end of the day, it's making the wrong things right. And you guys, with your business and your company, are making many wrong things right. So keep that in mind and focus on that and just be encouraged. Start small and you can make a difference.
That's awesome. Thank you, Nick. I'm writing that down, justice. And I couldn't agree more. It's certainly why I became a part of Trades of Hope. You look at those big, dark, scary issues in the world and think, what can I do? And for a long time, I didn't do anything because I didn't think that I could do anything. And now, after almost 5 years of Trades of Hope, I certainly have seen over and over again the fruits of, the ripple effect of building relationships, of doing small things with great love and seeing great impact from those things. So yeah. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much again. I really, really appreciate you being here. I know Veronica does, and everybody who is hearing this message live and then who will watch it later, I know will be inspired. So thank you.
Well, thank you guys. If there's any questions that you guys have, email me. I think I saw some question about something about
Port St. Lucie.
What was the question?
Is there like a chapter or a group in Port St. Lucie specifically that's
I'm sure there is. In fact, I'm pretty sure there is, but who they are, I wouldn't know. There's a lot of organizations out there that are focused on this topic. And I just want to encourage you guys, again, start off small. Look and see what you can do. And then look at organizations that you're already plugged into and start asking them if they're aware of this. And then if you want to branch out and find more organizations, just do some of your homework. You can do a quick Google, Port St. Lucie and, human trafficking. I promise you'll see some organizations that will come up. But one of my favorite national or international organizations is International Justice Mission, IJM. Now they're focused on the global fight against human trafficking, and I really encourage you to follow them. There's a lot of great information. Another organization that I'm a little bit partial to is called Exodus Cry. They're a Christian organization out of Kansas City, Missouri, connected with the International House of Prayer, and they do a lot of good things domestically, but again, it's all about local areas. Find someone in your area who's going to help you be empowered with your neighborhood. One of the best ways to determine a good organization versus a bad organization is look at the fruits that they're producing within your community. Are they empowering people to be part of making a difference? Are they equipping you? And are they setting things up so that you can actually take ownership in this issue? Or are they setting it up where they just want you to focus on the organization? Because again, it takes a community. It's all about relationships. So let that be your determining factor. And I promise you, God will lead you to an organization that He wants you to be a part of. So I hope that helps. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And she said thank you for responding. So.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, continued prayers for your daughters and Nick or Dixie, you too. I don't see you anymore. So thank you so much, and we are going to jump right into the next segment of our meeting. And I'm really going to attempt to keep this to an hour. So we're at 45, so that gives me 15 minutes. So Veronica, you know how this usually goes. So, okay, let me share my screen. Hold on.
Run, Erin, run!
I know. I don't go fast well, but I will do my best. Okay, so hold on.
If people need to tune out and then watch the replay, they can.
Yeah, no, it will not hurt my feelings. Okay, so we're going to talk about December. Some of these things I can go pretty quickly through because they're just kind of like announcements and things, but you might be a brand new compassionate entrepreneur, in which case, welcome to Trades of Hope. So here we go. December is an exciting month. Here we go. How do I change slides? There we go. Okay, hold on. All I can see is like the chat and everything else. I gotta move stuff out of my way. Okay, so just a few months ago, we started the Monday Wake Up Call. They've been going really well. Hopefully you have had a chance to listen to them. They are released on Monday mornings, but it's really like you set your own schedule for when you want to listen to it. They're released by 11 a.m. on Monday mornings. And so if you want to put like an alarm on your phone that goes off every Monday morning at 11 a.m., and then you can log in and listen to the call. They're not live, so you can call in and listen to the recording anytime. They're actually recorded at 9:30 in the morning by whoever's doing the call. And then they're archived. So if you heard, oh gosh, Holly did a call, or and somebody said it was really good, they're available in the toolbox. So when you go into your toolbox, you can go look under the Monday Wake Up Call and find the recordings of all the calls that we've had. They're all about 20-25 minutes long. Again, just a great way to start off your week. I would strongly encourage you to make that a personal accountability to yourself. I'm going to listen to the Monday Wake Up Call at whatever time on my way to work, on Monday, or no, that won't work. On the way to work on Tuesday mornings, if that works, or on the way home from work on Mondays. But check out the Monday Wake Up Call. There's really good stuff happening on those calls, people from the field, and then obviously our founders. Inspiring Hope is our wonderful program for people who earn $1,000 in sales, and you get a postcard that is you can see mine back there on my bulletin board. It's a postcard of an artisan signed by a founder. They're beautiful. I'm very proud to say that I will have collected all 12. If you've collected at least 6, throw that in the chat. I want to hear from you for 2017. And this will be a program that will continue into 2018. Every time you hit $1,000 in PRV for a month, you will receive an Inspiring Hope postcard. And the other program that is continuing for 2018 is the Creating Change Incentive, and these are the tassel bracelets. And every time you sponsor somebody, you get a tassel bracelet that represents that person that you have brought into our beautiful company. And I added a little note here at the bottom in red. The Great Love Nation is going to really be focusing on sponsorship for 2018. This is an area that we need to grow as a team, as a company. Spring Mingy described it earlier today in a message feed that I was on, and she said, when you're talking about impact, when we bring somebody on as a compassionate entrepreneur, sponsor somebody, she is starting a business, and there's a direct correlation to an artisan getting a job and starting her business. And that is what our ultimate mission is. Helping women create jobs to empower women out of poverty. When somebody hosts a party, they are expanding the marketplace for our artisans' products. That is an incredible impact. And then when people shop, they are creating demand for those products, which is also incredibly important. But sponsorship needs to be our focus, our goal, and we're going to work on that in 2018 and get tons and tons and tons of these bracelets. I don't know if you heard, but the Jensen bag took a little twist in December. So now all of your $1,000 parties in December, just get a free Jensen bag, which is pretty cool. So if you are doing some parties in December, or have an open party from for yourself for December, for like, you know, your friends and family Christmas ordering, or customers, or random, you know, not an actual party. If that gets to $1,000, you get a Jensen bag. So it's a beautiful bag, and it will be free in December for $1,000 parties, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you've heard too, we've got a free bag on a mission. The Alden bag and the Weekender are in a relationship. If you buy the Alden, you get the Weekender for free, which is kind of fun. This started on November 29th, and we did donate, as a Great Love Nation, 16 mosquito nets. I challenged you guys, for every Alden bag you sold November 29th and 30th. And so as a team, we sold 16, which is pretty cool. And so I'll be donating those through the Malaria Consortium. I still don't know how to say it. But that's awesome. And that continues until December 7th. So if you have customers or parties or anything going on until Thursday, then they can take advantage of this deal, which is an amazing deal. I mean, the Alden bag is a beautiful gift, a great investment piece, a wonderful, you know, for him or her. I think we needed more her pictures with the Alden bag, but you know, another day. And then the Weekender is what, like a $64 bag, $62 bag, something like that. To get that for free, that's legit. That's like a BOGO I can get behind. So keep sharing that because it's an awesome deal. The Christmas sale is going on. After Black Friday ended, the Christmas sale began. So you missed the 50% off. That's okay. You get 35% off. And so everything that was in the Black Friday sale is still available, unless it's sold out, at 35% off. And then those marketplace, those limited items, except for the ones that sold out, like this guy and these guys and the Scarlet Clutch. But the other pieces are available at full price in the marketplace. So that's great. Fun things coming, new things coming. So the Christmas cutoff for everywhere in the country is December 14th. Is that correct, Veronica? 14th? And then December 17th for Floridians. Sorry, guys. We just live really close to the home office. But right after that, after the cutoff for Christmas, some fun things are going to kick off. And these are end of the year kind of keep your CE or your PRV going kind of deals. We will have a 50% off sale that will kick off on December 18th. You can probably guess which product line is going to be included in that. I'm not going to say it, but you can probably guess. Also in the past, we have had really cool thing called mystery bundles. I'm not actually sure how mysterious they're going to be, but we'll have to wait till they're released. You might actually get to know what's in the mystery bundles. It's not such a mystery after all, but these are more gift bundles that are really fun. A great way for somebody to get some last minute gifts or get some things for themselves, you know, since it's past the Christmas cutoff. But if you order things on December 18th or 19th, they still might show up in time. But those are some things that are coming out after the 18th, because you want to make sure that your business does not shut down. You know, you're still open for business in some form or fashion. It's amazing how the shopping never really stops. So maybe on Christmas Day, but people love shopping, especially Trades of Hope. Vision trips were officially announced. However long ago that was. And hopefully you've had a chance to look at them. I'm really, really excited about the way that they're structuring vision trips this year. It's going to open it up to a lot more compassionate entrepreneurs. Last year, only 50 women were able to go on a vision trip. This year, I think it's like 126, whatever 8 times 15 is. That's how many people get to go. Which is really, really cool. There are 8 trips to Haiti this year. It's open to any compassionate entrepreneur who has achieved the rank of advanced CE or above as a lifetime rank, which means you only have to do that one time, as long as you've done it one time. The qualification begins December 1st, so it has begun. And you purchase a ticket for the specific trip that you want to attend once you have earned your 4 points and achieved the rank of ACE. A point is earned. $500 in PRV will get you a point, or sponsoring a new CE will get you 2 points. So you can sell $1,000 and sponsor somebody and be an ACE, and you've got your qualification and you can go buy your ticket. Don't panic. This is not going to like sell out as quickly as you might think. But if you are working towards going on a vision trip, work towards getting those 4 points and going ahead and getting your ticket. I do believe that all the trips will fill up eventually, but I don't think it's going to happen by the end of December, but it will happen. And I have officially discussed it with my husband. I know, I'm so excited, and I'm going to be going on the trip May 5th through the 10th. So if you are able to go on that trip, if you're planning to go to Haiti and you are able to do that one, please come with me. The idea of the trips is to have as many people from our team together. I'd love to have lots of women from the Great Love Nation there with me in May. It will be my 4-year anniversary of traveling to Haiti for the first time, almost to the day. I was messaging with Shelly because I was so excited when it was like official that I could go, and she's gonna try to be there, and we're gonna try to set up some time with Gina and Kristali, and I'm just like, I just want to like pass out just thinking about how awesome that reunion is going to be, and how much, like Nick was saying, like how much has changed in these 4 years is mind-blowing. And I cannot wait to be back in Haiti, and I would love for you to be there with me. So work towards that. Inspire is not really right around the corner, but it's a coming, and would make a great Christmas gift. And conveniently, early bird pricing ends December 31st, so it would really make a good Christmas gift because you get a really, the best price you're going to get until it's going to go up again after December 31st. So that's our annual retreat that is open to all compassionate entrepreneurs. It'll be here in Orlando at the Rose and Shingle Creek Hotel, August 3rd and 4th, 2018. That's when the fall catalog launches. It's when, hopefully this year, I don't know, I'd love if we had like 1,000 people there, but at least 600, 700, 800 compassionate entrepreneurs, the founders, guest speakers, artisans, dance parties, just amazingness. You don't want to miss it. So plan to snag your ticket and before they go up again, December 31st. And that's Marie Chenard. I always change out the picture to put Marie in there because she's on our team. All right, coming up in January. So 2018 is right around the corner, obviously. And like I said, you're not going to close down your shop. And one of my biggest suggestions for you, if you hear nothing else tonight, hear this. Before you decide to lay down your business for like a day or two to celebrate Christmas, make sure you have 3 parties on your calendar in January. Make sure you have 3 parties on your calendar, actual dates, like, on your calendar for parties in January. I have mine. Mission accomplished. 1, 2, 3. Boom. I've got 3 parties on my calendar in January. I'm feeling really good. If you don't have them yet, it is not too late. And Double Hostess Rewards is one of the greatest tools that the home office gives us for booking parties in January. And you would be amazed how it's much easier than you would think to get parties in January and to get people excited about parties in January with Double Hostess Rewards. There is a new catalog coming out January 31st. So people will get excited about that. And then when you tell them, hey, if you have a $1,000 party, you can get $400 in free product. They're like, what? Okay, I'll do a party. Because I've had amazing parties in January, especially with Double Hostess Rewards, because people move on from the Christmas shopping season so quickly, and they have money to spend again because they returned all their Christmas gifts because they didn't like any of them. So they've got this cash. They didn't get anything that they wanted. So they are going to get new spring stuff from Trades of Hope because that's what they actually wanted for Christmas to begin with. So Double Hostess Rewards are incredibly important. Make sure that in all of your contacts right now with customers, at parties, people that shop with you through Black Friday, Any Facebook parties that you did with Black Friday, follow up. Every single person that has ordered from you in November, you guys sold so much in November. You've got tons of customers that you can talk to. You need to send them this little graphic that's in the back office, talk to them about the new catalog coming out, and get them excited about putting a date on the calendar. And do not rest until you have those 3 parties on your calendar for January. I promise you, it will make you so happy. It will make you super, super happy, because January can be a really sad month. And I don't want anybody to sit there and cry because you didn't listen to me right now on December 5th. And when you have plenty of time to book 3 parties, don't say that I didn't tell you. So don't be crying in your tea in January because you didn't book any parties and you're like, nobody wants to talk to me. Well, you should have booked the parties in December, like Aaron Woods told you to. So trust me, I know, I've been there. I've done this. I've been through like four Januaries now. So make it a good month. Do yourself a favor and get those 3 parties booked. Okay, so review. We got for your customers in December, you've got your Jensen bag for your $1,000 parties, the Alden bag and weekender relationship that's going on, the BOGO, the Christmas sale that is currently going on until December 17th. And then starting December 18th, we'll have 2 fun sales that'll launch, the mystery bundles and the other sale, which again, you can probably guess what product line is going to be on sale. And then, of course, Monday Wake Up Call, Inspiring Hope, Creating Change, Vision Trips, Inspire 2018. Lots of fun things for you to kind of keep your excitement and motivation high. And hopefully, you know, what Nick shared with us tonight gives you some encouragement that what you are doing is extremely important. And all right, I'm going to go back to, how do I go back? How do I go back to Zoom? Can you guys see me big, or you still see my screen? No. Stop. Oh, there we go. Stop share. Ha. Okay. So yeah. So hopefully that encourages you. How'd I do? Ha! It's 9:02. Look at that. So I really want to show them, Veronica. So should I show them? I just dropped everything because I got really nervous, and I'm sweating. So anyway, I'm so thankful that you guys are on tonight. Veronica, do you want to add? I kind of flew through that, but did you want to add anything?
No, I think you covered it. I can neither encourage nor tell you not to show them.
We all think you should show us.
Well, you guys have all seen it.
We've all seen it anyway, so just show us.
It's all over social media, so.
Well, it's more but it has not been officially confirmed. So we can't officially confirm anything because we really don't know.
Yeah, we actually don't know, do we?
They truly have not officially told us. We've been kind of doing things rogue on our own.
Yeah, like everybody thinks that there's been some like well-planned like whisper campaign going on, but it's really just been like peer pressure. Like that's essentially the root of it all. Is like somebody started it and somebody else was like, hey, wait, I want to do that. That's cool. And then somebody else was like, well, she's doing it, so I'm going to do it. I mean, even Holly was like, well, I want to do it. So like it was definitely like compassionate entrepreneur peer pressure going on. So but you guys saw the HMP preview thing that Barbara Hope posted, or Sarah, or somebody, one of the Hopes posted on the Trades of Hope website. There is an HMP, Hope Marketing Portal, newsletter going out tomorrow. So pay attention to it, okay?
And we can, they're going to say this tomorrow, but we can confirm that this product will not be in the catalog in the future. They're having some challenges with the artisan group, so they don't have a ton of them. They will not be featured in a future catalog. So please be, don't just ride the hype and get it because of the hype. Like be conscientious. It's going to be expensive. It's a leather, really well-made bag. It's expensive. So, if it comes down to, am I going to go to Inspire or am I going to buy this bag? We're going to tell you 100 times, go to Inspire. The bag is not worth it.
So seriously, yeah.
But use this to boost your PRV. Like the intention of this, honestly, is not to give the CEs another bag. It is to boost your PRV. Yes. So use it for that. Follow up with your follow up with people. If you have women who you think are going to love this bag, be ready to text them. Like have a list at whatever time in the morning, and 10, 20 people that you think are going to love this. And oh my gosh, get it while it lasts.
Because it won't last long.
Yeah, we don't know how many there are, but they're not that many.
Yeah, and yeah, this is for your customers. This is for your best customers. So that is what we can share with you tonight is get your list together. This is your gift for coming to this meeting, that you can be on top of it. Yeah, yes, I cannot agree more. Buy your Inspire ticket. Okay, like
Erin, maybe we should get like 1 or 2 for like incentives.
Yes, no, I'm already planning on it. So there will be at least one up for grabs as like $1,000 club, kind of thing. So do not fear.
I might have to get one for our team as well.
Yeah, you guys know I don't let you down. No, this will not be Hostess rewards. This will not last the day tomorrow. So,
probably not. Yeah. Although the price tag is going to be higher, so we'll see. But
yeah. I'm predicting it's not going to last the day because, think about all your hostesses and customers who have bought an Alden bag or would buy something, more expensive. It is gorgeous. We're not going to say how much it is, Gretchen.
I don't know how much it's going to be, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's closer to $200.
Yeah.
They haven't told us what the price is. Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention when they told us what the price was. I blocked it out.
I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe I just.
Oh, they did. That's right.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's going to be more expensive than any bag we have.
Yeah. And I said too, if you really want one, make your goal to sell 4 of them, and then you get one for free. So there you go. Then you have made enough commission to buy yourself one. It's not really free.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not an incentive.
Not really free, but use your business wisely. And if you're going to buy one for yourself, please buy it through a party and show PRV and earn Hostess rewards from it. Don't buy it through the CE store, okay? You want to show your PRV because people get recognized. You get recognized for PRV at Inspire, and so you don't want to miss out on the. If you're gonna buy something for yourself, buy it through a party so that you show that PRV. Yes, Courtney. Yes. Check your HMP. We can't say anything else. Okay. Thank you guys for a great meeting and for being here and sticking with me to the end. And hopefully that you feel blessed by Nick's message, excited for November or December, ending strong, getting those three parties on the calendar for January. Excited for tomorrow. It's gonna be a fun day. And thank you again for being here. Thanks, Veronica.
My pleasure. Thanks, ladies. Love y'all.
Love you. Bye.